Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with our second topic today. Well, the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities have provided facilities in order to attract tourists and fans who are participating and attending the World Cup of 2022 in Qatar. To shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phone with Mr. Yehia Abdel Qader, former advisor to Foreign Minister of Tourism. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ms. Amal. How are you?
Well, how are you, sir? Well, sir, could you give us an idea about the facilitations that were provided by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities in order to attract the tourists and the fans who are attending the World Cup 2022 in Qatar?
Well, really, the whole world has been excited because of the Football World Cup tournament currently held in Qatar. It's extremely popular, and fans all over the world, they either watch or they fly to Qatar, you know, like from far locations, from Australia, from Argentina, from Brazil, from South Africa, because the World Cup is so dear to millions of fans and billions worldwide. So the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, you know, they have a strategy to attract, you know, fans of the World Cup through offering them 50% discount for those holders of Yehia, you know, like fan cards, and they will be accessible to visit, you know, like in Egypt, post the games, the museums, heritage sites, archaeological locations, and the destinations, you know, like all over Egypt, according to this strategy, accessible and provided by the Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities.
Yes, so Dr. Abdel Qader, the discounts and facilities are provided to those participating in the Qatar World Cup 2022 who are holding the cards of Yehia. So you said that they are provided by the Ministry of Tourism a discount of 50% if they are visiting the archaeological sites here in Egypt. What are the other facilities concerning facilitations, concerning the visas, concerning other papers?
Well, really, there is, you know, like a package, you know, like to facilitate the travel to Egypt. Of course, currently post the games, when the games are over, because lots of them, they come from, you know, like faraway distances, like they've been flying for 15 or 20 hours from Brazil and from Australia and Singapore, you know, like China. So lots of them, they like, you know, like to visit Egypt, you know, like as the hub for culture and civilization after they've been watching the games. And that's why the ministry is making them, you know, like special fares at the hotels, at the heritage sites and museums and cultural attractions. You know, we have been delighted yesterday by watching the games, and Saudi, you know, like beat Argentina, which is a former world champion. So this is part of the excitement of the game in Tunisia as well. They had an excellent game, you know, like with competing with Denmark. So this atmosphere of excitement and popularity is going to generate more travel to Egypt, inshallah, shortly when the World Cup is over.
Yes. So how does the participants and the fans attending the World Cup in Qatar get to know about the initiative by the Ministry of Tourism here in Egypt in order to facilitate or give some facilitations for the fans attending the World Cup?
Well, the ministry really has been launching a campaign, you know, like through social media, through print, through radio, through TV, and, you know, like and as well as, you know, like the hotels and the resorts where the fans and the stadiums, you know, like we're watching the games. So as soon as they arrive, you know, like at the Qatar International Airport and the stadiums where the games are performed, so they will be, you know, like informed about these facilities and offer packages by the Ministry of Tourism. And there's good news as well, because the Grand Egyptian Museum is partially opening its doors, you know, like for visitors, you know, like to recreational, commercial and service facilities, souvenir shops, the stores, the restaurant and cafe and parking lots. So those visitors, like when they arrive to Egypt after the games are over, they will be having a chance to visit the Grand Egyptian Museum as well.
Yes. So, Dr. Abdel Qader, how would the World Cup in Qatar would promote for tourism, not only in Egypt, but in the Middle East in general?
Yes, definitely this is a great opportunity because Qatar has been working, like tirelessly for 12 years, like to establish the sport facilities, accommodation, lodging, logistics, like recreation, entertainment for hundreds of thousands of visitors worldwide. So really this has been, like promoting the whole region, the GCC region, which Qatar belongs to, and our area, of course, like Egypt, because many visitors, they would like to visit it, to see it a long time, but with the accessibility and the World Cup tournament being in the neighborhood, it's only like over 3 hours to Qatar, so hundreds and thousands of them, when the games is over, they will be ruled and attracted to come and visit, like Cairo, Alexandria, Red Sea region, at this, like warm time of the year for the Egyptian warm weather and hospitality as well.
Yes, Dr. Abdel Qader, also you've just mentioned that Egypt is providing a 50% discount for the holders of the Yehia cards and would provide 50% discount if they are visiting the archaeological sites. So what are the programs that are set by the Ministry of Tourism in order to host the fans of the World Cup 2022?
Of course, like when they fly to Egypt, like and arrive at the Cairo International Airport or Alexandria, so you'll be noticed that they have been flying from Qatar, and they will be holders of the FANG cards, so they will be receiving discounts, and the Egyptian Tourist Authority for Promotion, they will be receiving them at the airports and at the terminals, and escorting them, like to their accommodation sites, the hotels and the resorts, and then providing them special tours, because this is a special program offered by the Ministry of Tourism to, like welcome and make, like the visitors and the attendants and fans of the World Cup feel more hospitable and feel at home and enjoy the cultural attractions and heritage of Egypt, as well as the many, like destinations we have all over. Maybe some of them, they will be lured to take Nile cruises up to Luxor and Aswan, especially at this beautiful time of the year.
Yes, Dr. Abdel Qader, also, what is the role of the digital marketing in marketing for the tourism in Egypt?
It's so powerful as well, because like nearly like 70 to 80% of world corporations now use the social and digital media and online, like booking and news and information. So they will know very fast about these advantages and these offers, and they will be, like lining up, because as I said, some of them has been flying 15 hours to get to Qatar. So we are only like 3 hours away from Qatar. So hundreds of thousands of them will be planning because they will be informed, as I said, from their hotels, from the sites, from their mobile networks, they will be informed about this offer, and you will see them soon after 2 weeks, like when the tournament is over, coming to Egypt and visiting its culture and to its attraction.
Yes, so Dr. Abdel Qader, what about the winter season and the reservations here in Egypt concerning the winter season?
Well, really, like inshallah, we'll be having, like a solid season for international tourism influence to Egypt, because, like world media, press, radio and TV, for example, British press, like are, like announcing to their audience that Egypt is a perfect resort for the winter season because of its weather, hospitality, even the package rates that they receive currently now. Same thing happened through National Geographic. They picked Egypt as one of the top 25 destinations that visitors have to visit this winter season. So we've been, and TripAdvisor, one of the most famous and reputable platform for travel and hospitality, has been advised audiences worldwide that it is a good time to visit Egypt and spend their winter season vacation.
Yes, Dr. Abdel Qader, so what are the touristic destinations here in Egypt that we expect that the fans of the World Cup could visit, or what are the recommended places and artistic and touristic destinations and archaeological sites that the Ministry of Tourism could provide in its program for the fans of the World Cup?
Well, definitely, like Cairo is going to be the main hub because of the international flight, like itineraries for them, so they can fly back, like to their countries, home countries. And they'll be coming to visit, like the Cairo Museum in Tahrir Square, the Civilization Museum for start, and, like going to Saqqara and the pyramids. And as I said, you'll have a chance, it will be the early birds to visit the Grand Egyptian Museum because it's partially opening now its doors. So visitors will have a chance to do this, which is a unique opportunity. And then some of them, they will be attracted, like to fly to Luxor and Aswan, and others to the Red Sea region as well. And look, we've been over, like with the COP27 climate change conference, which is like globally has been recognized, and it was so popular, its resolutions. So many people would like to do this destinations and site as soon as the World Cup is over, inshallah.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Dr. Yehia Abdel Qader, former advisor to Minister of Tourism. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a report on the COP27 climate change conference that took place in the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh with the participation of more than 66,000 participants and the participation also of 120 of the world leaders.